situation. We're going to open up. There we go. Hit open. And eventually the pictures will pop up. And there we have it, our gorgeous shoreline. We're going to double click that layer. And now you'll notice my layers aren't on here, so I can actually find it up here. And I can grab layers from this window, so it'll create that panel. I can actually put that panel back into my panels here. If I see a little blue box, it can sort of sit myself in, or I can pull it back out just because I'm going to be dealing with a lot of pictures. So it's handy to have it kind of hanging out for me. So what I want to do now is I want to open this as sort of my backdrop. So what I want to kind of create is a bit of a layer visual here. So I'm going to double click on that. It's going to open up a new layer. Essentially, I'm going to rename it layer 1. And there we have it. So now we're actually working with what this layer is now considered our first layer. We still kind of want a background layer, which is something we really want to have as a part of our, I guess, what we would call sort of our a bit of our flavor. We don't want this to be our dominant picture. So what we want to do now is we were going to ensure that we have sort of a new layer option. So what we want to do is we want to create a new layer, but we want to create it from the background. So we're going to create new. There we go. Oh wait, there we go. There's our little box. There it is. There's our new layer. And we want to make sure it's selected, and we want to make that our background layer. So would you see what I did? I created a new layer. I went up to layer and I created the layer from background. So now I have my background layer. You can see that it's locked. This color is because my white is the selection of color. I can make sure that's a different color if I need to change it. Or if yours came up a different color, take a look at what your color selection is. As you can see here, my background here is white. So now that I have a white background, you can change that to a slate gray. You can change that to the nice blue in the mountains. It's up to you. But at this point, I'm going to keep mine white because at this next stop, we're going to just sort of start to kind of add a little bit of nuance. So I don't want this to be my central picture. I really just want this to be my background. So what I've done is now I'm going to select that layer and I'm going to just create the opacity, which means I'm going to kind of, opacity is something that we call to make things sort of translucent, transparent or not transparent. So when you change whether something is opaque, it means that it's there's no cloud to it. There's no sort of subtlety. So we would go to a lighter opacity so that we can sort of see our image, but we can also see that sort of white background. So it doesn't really take over